Now to give an example of an ecosystem, the best example is going to be a small pond. देखने में एक बहुत छोटा ecosystem है, but it illustrates all these processes very beautifully. Let's look at the pond ecosystem. First of all, there are going to be biotic components and some abiotic components. Abiotic means non-living. क्या होंगे? I have already told you water, जिसमें nutrients dissolved होंगे, gases dissolved होंगे. Okay. Besides that, soil. The soil of the ponds not only forms a base for the water to be held, but also यहाँ पे काफी decomposition activities भी होती हैं. Okay. The atmospheric gases, carbon dioxide and oxygen is going to be dissolved in the pond water. Temperature. Temperature क्या है? अगर बहुत ठंडी जगह है, the lake might get frozen. Okay, the Dal Lake in all in Kashmir gets frozen. Yet the life below it keeps going on at its normal pace. This is all very interesting. Sunlight. I have already told you sunlight समझते वक्त there are two important words. The duration of sunlight and also sunlight कितनी तेज है. The intensity of sunlight is also important. All these factors contribute to the abiotic factors of the pond. Now let's begin talking about the biotic components that are present in the pond. Like I told you, the biotic components refer to the living components that are present. Okay, what could that be? First of all, there are going to be some autotrophs. Autotrophs, like I told you, are those organisms that are the producers. They are going to produce biomass primarily. So, autotrophs are producers. Who are the producers in the pond? You must have heard of organisms called phytoplanktons. Phyto means plants. Planktons mean small floating organisms. Okay. So these are microscopic organisms. These could be small algae organisms like that. They are the phytoplanktons. There are floating and submerged plants also. There are plants that are found in the pond. They will also perform photosynthesis, fix the biomass. They are what? They are my producers. Now producers naturally would be eaten up by whom? Consumers. So the consumers that directly eat these producers, जो ये पौधों को खाते हैं या जो ये autotrophs को खाते हैं, they are called primary consumers. Primary मतलब क्या होता है? पहला. तो वो consumers को क्या कहते हैं? Primary consumers. Naturally, if I would ask you, primary consumers are herbivores or carnivores? Well, it's obvious that since they are eating plants, they have to be herbivores. Okay, so these are herbivores. So who are eating these phytoplanktons? Zooplanktons. Zoo refers to zoology, the study of animals. Okay, zoo refers to animals. So these free-floating animal forms like water flea etc. are going to come and eat these plants up. Also, these are further eaten by secondary consumers. Primary consumer को कौन खा रहा है? Secondary. 1 के बाद कौन सा आता है? 2. So secondary consumers now, do you think they are going to be carnivores or herbivores? Well, they are carnivores. Why? Because they are not eating plants. They are eating the primary consumers. Example of the secondary consumers are insects, dragonfly larvae and some small fishes. Now these small fishes naturally would be eaten up by larger fishes. They are also going to be carnivores. These larger fishes will be termed as tertiary. क्या sequence होता है? The sequence is primary के बाद क्या आता है? Secondary, then tertiary, then quaternary and so on. So third level पे we use the word tertiary. So these tertiary consumers are going to be larger fishes that are going to consume the smaller fishes. Now what is going to happen after that? Now there is going to be waste generation in the pond. Some of the plants are going to die. Some of these consumers are going to die. Now there's going to waste material is going to be generated, feces of these fishes and these animals and aquatic forms. So what needs to be done? It needs to be broken down. There should be nutrient cycling. Okay, there has to be energy flow. कौन करेगा ये? Decomposers करेंगे. Finally, all this waste material will sink to the bottom of the pond where who are present? The decomposers are present. and these decomposers are going to break these complex organic material जो कि प्लांट के सेल वॉल में है या एनिमल बॉडी की प्रोटीन्स है, ये सब ब्रेक हो जाएंगी. The nutrients are going to be recycled, the energy is going to be dissipated to the environment, and this whole ecosystem का पूरा function will be completed. Thus pond seems like a small system, but in fact it is a complete ecosystem in itself. In the next video, we begin talking about all of these elements individually. So we'll begin with productivity in the next video. Please consider subscribing to the channel for more such videos. Thank you.